Hello and welcome to Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And as you'll have seen from the title, it's called The Future of Back of the Net. And look, it may sound a little bit dramatic to you, but over the last international break, we had a couple of weeks to reflect on where we've come from and what we want to be going forward. So this video is going to tell you a little bit about how things might be changing or what we're going to be doing going forward. It may not be to the liking of all of you, but this video just gives us a chance to take stock because look, it's 6 years, just over 6 years since we dropped our first audio podcast and over 3 since we've been doing YouTube. And with this in mind, at the infancy of this channel, because hopefully it is, 3 years in, to be nominated for a Football Content Award, not 1 but 2, is absolutely incredible. And you'll see on the timeline at the bottom on YouTube, if you just tap your screen or hover your mouse, you'll see it split into chunks. If you want to just say thank you to us, you can register your vote. You've got us past the first stage, but now we're to the second stage where we could actually come home with some silverware. But for a small channel like us, mate, it's a huge accolade, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. With some of the people and channels that we're involved with, it's really nice to be recognised in that way because we are little Bournemouth, and there's always probably going to be a ceiling with a channel like ours, and obviously it's not deep down. We don't do it for awards or to get nominated, of course not. But really nice to have that kind of feedback and that support from all you guys and everyone that voted is really appreciative of that, and it's humbled by it, I guess. It's it's nice, and it'll be a nice occasion to go there and connect with people as well, and just build some connections with different channels and see how they started and what road they've gone down, because it's picked up really quickly. I think as well, with the fact that obviously that promotion, like I say, since we've gone on YouTube, going back up to the Premier League's obviously helped the channel. It's also meant that a lot of content's got to be put out, and it's very busy and hectic, but as long as we're enjoying it, and you guys are enjoying it, then things like this are going to come, I think, which is really, really nice. So yeah, nice to be recognised in that way, mate.
So we're using this video as an opportunity just to look back at some of the things that have happened with Back of the Net, the way that we want to take it forward as well. And like I say, during international break, I mean, all we had was to watch England, which wasn't particularly great. I mean, the Germany game was entertaining, but it just allowed us to sort of take stock a little bit and sort of looking at what we've achieved, Tom. And over that time, we've amassed quite a bit. What was it? 8,500 subscribers.
Yeah, and if you think about how many people we get in Bournemouth Football Stadium, that is quite impressive. And it's got to be it's over 1 million listens now, the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Also, we're approaching 2 million YouTube views as well.
Thousands of followers across all of socials, which is amazing as well. Whether that be Instagram, Twitter, them sort of things as well. Just a lot of people showing support, and it's nice to be backed up with that. We do this stuff and we talk about football. We think, sometimes you just need that validation to think, but people do, because you obviously know that you're always going to get people that ain't a fan of this sort of stuff, which is fine. But there's enough people that makes it a joy to do, because you think, people actually appreciate it and respect the content we're putting out. Particularly, I think you don't realise, even with a small club like Bournemouth, overseas fans that can't get to games.
Absolutely.
I think we've had a lot of that's, for me anyway, meeting a few fans that can't get to games. I remember meeting Chris, for example, from the States, and obviously many more that are so appreciative that they think, I can't always get to games, so it's really nice to feel like we're part of it, which is great, and that's something that I personally think is a really nice touch.
Yeah, so for that we want to say thank you so much for all your support and feedback, and there's a way later in the show where you can leave some more anonymously, good or bad. We'd love to hear it. Look, it's never been about numbers, Back of the Net, and I know we just willy waved just then by saying about the number of subscribers, but you'll never or rarely hear us bang on about it, because our focus has always been about the football, isn't it? And just sort of documenting the club in a raw and an honest way, and also a fun way as well, because football don't have to be serious, does it? And it's important that we always enjoy it. And it's fair to say, when I've been looking back, I think I started off doing Back of the Net and it was quite a chore.
Yes.
And quite a serious thing, but now it's actually really fun to do. It's really enjoyable. Part of that's down to you.
Oh, no, I agree.
A little bit.
No, of course. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't doing it with my mates and just having a laugh. And it's basically what I've been doing anyway. If you know me, I just talk about football constantly. So I just do that for more people to hear, I guess. But yeah, as you say, I think it's getting that balance of being a bit of insight into games. There's people that want to know kind of the ins and outs, but not going overboard with kind of stats and things like that, because we want to keep it light-hearted and just want to show, as you mentioned, mate, just want to show that it's just fans talking about a football club that they love. And you know, you hear a lot of kind of, probably less so with Bournemouth, but media takes on things and ex-players and, you know, pundits, and sometimes it's good to hear just from the fans that are there watching it and what they're seeing on the pitch. And I think with Bournemouth, we've managed to see us in the lower leagues, now what the gauge of the football club is. And I think we try and get that blend of that raw reaction, like you say, after games, you know, your fan cams and things like that. Then the second looks, kind of, we try to dive into it a little bit. And then you also get the fun of the vlogs of just like, you know, we're not recording the whole game, but it's just kind of us going, oh, this is what it's like. And there's a few little laughs and stuff. And that's what it's all about, mate. So, yeah, long may it continue.
So, look, we're going to look back at where we've come from. I think there should be a harp playing now and that kind of effect on screen. Let's take you back. But as many of you know, well, Gail Hope is one of the first ever listeners to our audio podcast. Gail, if you're watching, hello to you. But yeah, it started as an audio pod back in 2016. It was the brainchild.
I hope she is.
Oh, very good. Started off with Sean Barker getting in touch with me saying, look, there is a podcast already, all departments, but do you fancy doing something a bit different, a magazine-led show? So that's what we did. We covered the women's team, we covered the youth team, all sorts of different features and chats. Michael Dunn was doing an excellent job with all departments, but we aimed to complement what he did. But then he then joined Back of the Net for a bit, and then it was really difficult to do because Sean Barker, as many people know, he's in New Zealand, and there was like a 2-hour window of our day that the timelines would tally. So it'd be first thing in the morning for him and last thing for me at night. But there would be some times where he'd be rushed off his feet in the morning. I'd be up like 1 a.m. in the morning recording a podcast, which would then go out at 7 o'clock. And it was becoming a bit hard. So we recorded 50 podcasts together, which were done over Skype. And then we had a bit of a lull, but then a certain Jeff Hayward then approached me and said, look, Sam, we need to bring this back. And, you know, have you ever considered video? I mean, I've got a face for radio, don't you think?
No, I agree, yeah. No, of course not.
But I thought about it, and then I gained some inspiration from a scummer. He doesn't mind me calling it. Freddie, who runs the Ugly Inside Southampton fan channel. It's taken a little bit of a break at the moment. Hopefully he'll come back with it soon. But I went up to Southampton, had a curry with him and just chatted. How do you do YouTube? What do you do? And that led to the first ever YouTube video in August 2019, and you're seeing a bit of it on screen. Tom, what do I look like? That hair? Can you believe I've got hair?
I don't want to comment too much on the hair, Sam, because, you know, then you're going to get loads of trolls coming in. Because I mean, I tell you what, talk about age like a fine wine, Sammy. Yeah, you got rid of that, and you're better for it, mate. You're
like
better
a nice
for it.
cab sav. Thank you. And like the aim, I suppose, at that point in time was bringing a sort of fan slant to existing news. So you had like preview shows, club news, after the match reaction shows, like Tom said, as well as the audio pods. And I mean, I was fronting it up, but the most important thing, and the kind of what we've always tried to do with Back of the Net, is make sure that it's the fans' voice, isn't it? So it is, you know, done by the fans for the fans. It's important we get as many fans on as possible to reflect the views, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's why the majority, anyway, of these kind of fan-led channels that you know, most football clubs tend to have these days. It's the world we're in, and I think we didn't want, you know, I can't speak for you, but you always feel like, oh, this is something that Bournemouth will miss out on because we're so small. So it was nice to be involved in it. But yeah, also it's just, I think you hear it sometimes on your talk sports and your five lines of fans ringing in, and it's great, isn't it, when you just hear raw reaction from fans. You think they're the ones that are there. They're the ones that pay their money. They deserve to have a voice and get listened to by more than just their mates down the pub. So yeah, I think that was important to do that, definitely.
I think it did have a bit of a sketchy reputation though, especially fan cams, certain channels online and certain characters being very controversial, and there were some knee-jerk opinions and some real strong opinions that they're probably looking back at now thinking, I wish I didn't say that. But it was all about just giving an honest reflection, but being fair with it as well. And there were people that came on the first fan cams. It was like Paul Kenwood, A.D. Brown, Tim Spencer, Tiggs came on, Nonny also came on at an early stage, rest in peace. And also it was me on the camera, Lucy behind the camera, and we just trialled it, and we even had to ask to get them over. I used to prep them, say, look, we're going to be in the car park. Do you mind if you come over and have a chat? And
I remember early days, you would shut me the old text as well,
Yeah.
like, see if you can get over. And, then
And he would never do it.
We'd lose, and I'd go, you got no chance, mate.
Okay.
I think no, it's interesting. It's a point to come on, actually, as I think, because you just mentioned it then about kind of the reputation that some sort of fan cams have. And I remember before I, started, seeing you more, going to games with you and stuff, we were in a bit of a lull at the time, and I remember thinking, I don't want to be that guy that's come over in the heat of the moment, and you know what I mean? I hadn't been on before, and I thought I don't want my frustrations to come out in a bad light because I love the football club. And I think sometimes it was really good for, as you say, people like Paul Cameron that really got the ball rolling, because it showed that, no, actually, you just come and give your honest opinion, and that's all it is, an opinion. And, fair play to anyone that comes in and gives it, because I sometimes have to take a moment to myself, because I think, right, let's not be over the top here. But it's really key to get that balance. It took me a while.
It is, and it is for anyone. So after every game, we're stood outside, so you can just come and have a chat, just queue up, and then we'll get your face on. It's nice. We're sort of slowly having new faces every week, and I know it's usually myself or Tiggs fronting the fan cams, but we're trying to share the load so you don't get to see the same old faces all the time. But if you fancy getting involved, then just get in touch with us. Of course, we do get some people who perhaps don't particularly like us and think that we're maybe overexposed in terms of the AFC Bournemouth media world and stuff, and I can understand that as well. But what I would say is you're very welcome to come on as well and have your view, because I know that there are certain people online that say certain things, but they're very sheepish in person. If you see them at the pub, they don't speak to us, they sort of type in text. But all I'd say is, why not come on? Because we're not bad people, and look, Tiggs got involved in the presenting side of things. You did as well. Jeff has. Neil Dawson came on board, and it's all about sharing a load with a bunch of like-minded fans. And I think we pretty much are. And our community that we've built, I think, is a really lovely place to be in, actually.
Yeah, really nice. No, I agree with that. And I think, I don't want to change anyone's opinion. If people don't like the kind of the YouTube vibe or what we do, that's absolutely fine. But we are just football fans giving our opinion. And I think most of the time, I had a few at the last game. You kind of, I understand, as I just mentioned, how it's quite daunting maybe to come over and get on the camera, and you kind of want to think, I just see other people's. But I had a few. I think it was was it Ollie, young lad Ollie, come up. Saw him in the bar, and he
was on the vlog as well.
Yeah, because he was just chatting to me about football. I thought
he's good.
I said, go outside and go chat to Sam. He's out there. Yeah, don't worry about that. So yeah,
he knows his stuff.
Yeah, and it's really nice that. I think we've got to keep that. Like say, we have a little team of people and we do bits and bobs, but you've got to keep the fact that if anyone wants to go and chat about football, get on, come on, have a chat about it. Even if you don't, and to be honest, I'm more than happy for you to come over and have a chat with me about football, even if you don't want to be on a camera, because that's what I'm doing it for. This is, as I mentioned earlier, this is a lot for people that don't get to games as well. I think we've had a lot of feedback that people really appreciate seeing the match going fan and what their thoughts are on it. So,
And what's really nice is that when Tiggs on fan, I get to see it more, I suppose, when I'm the one holding the camera. When I'm maybe on camera in the heat of the moment, you don't really appreciate who you're talking to. But I can see all these people waiting. I think, oh my God, we've got a mix.
Yeah,
we've got a mix of of ages, of football knowledge, of all sorts.
I'm not even bringing the average age down anymore.
No, you're
I used
not.
to think I was one of the youngest, and now I'm not, which is a worry. But luckily, Steve Hensman's always around.
Having these opinions though after a game, I tell you what, it makes me feel a lot better, because
I like it.
There were times where I would go home, I wouldn't really manage to vent, and I'd be on Twitter and I'd be having arguments with people and I'd be getting really agitated and stuff. But now I don't. It's almost like a sort of cathartic experience of just being able to say what you want to say, and then I can leave it. And I don't really use Twitter as much as I used to because of that, because I can get it out. And maybe you could benefit from it too. Talking Cherries do this whole thing it's good to talk and all that kind of stuff. Or was that Bob Hoskins? I can't remember. Either way, it is good to talk and tackle the silence and stuff. But through doing what we do, we've sort of slowly built up a reputation whereby we then started to manage to speak to the likes of Peter Rutzler and Chris Temple, and local media would sort of provide their insight to us as well. So we were almost providing this extra layer between like the fans and the media as well. It was really nice to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, really enjoyed that. Met some really good people, and they've been great. Mark McAdam as well was another one. You know, I'm watching him on Sky, and he's so intelligent and so well spoken. And then he's helping us out as well in his spare time, which, you know, as the others you mentioned, Jacob Tanswell before, you know, really, really good people. And that, I've always liked that about the football club. It's probably why I love the football club, to be honest, because I think we've always managed to keep that whatever division we're in and however we're doing on the football pitch. But yeah, I appreciate, spoke about it briefly earlier, that sometimes we're probably, you know, I remember when Scott Parker was let go, it looks like we're on every bloody, and I was kept on saying, oh, look at him turned up in his Bournemouth shirt outside. I said, we did get asked. I haven't just, you know, very, very fortunate to be asked if we could, like I say, they're going to go, you know, all these media outlets and radio stations and things are going to, you know, it was the big news story, and they're going to go on the socials and go, oh, here's a Bournemouth podcast, here's the main Bournemouth podcast, can you come on and have a chat? And fortunately at the time that we were able to do a bit, so that was really nice. And I'm not speaking on behalf of all Bournemouth fans, and I always try and make sure. It's difficult sometimes because you just asked your opinion, but I always try and make sure that I'm saying this is my opinion. Yeah. This is not every Bournemouth fan's opinion. This is just purely my opinion. And the Parker thing that we were talking about at the time was trying to say, you know, we appreciate what he's done, but at the moment I was feeling relieved, and that was kind of what I went with. That I felt a bit of relief because I felt that we needed to make that change from certain bits and bobs, and obviously since then at the moment it's going okay. But yeah, it was just an opinion. That's all it was, and that's all it always is.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose we would like to thank those people, but also Ahmed Schubel has always been available as well. Plus from the Echo, you've had Dan Rose, Jack Tanner, Adam Blackmore from Radio Solent's come on, Kelly Summers has come on before. There's a whole host, and Neil Meldrum who used to be with the Echo as well. Really good to have their support. But then, you know, we also chat to them during COVID as well, and that was a weird time for us because we were, you know, a fan channel. We were going to games. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, what do? We've got 3 months now. Well, we didn't realise it was going to be 3 months at the time, but we've got this period of time with no content. It was almost like a sink or swim moment. Do we just, you know, down tools for a bit, or do we continue to create a community? And with the way the world was at that time, we thought, oh my God, actually, we need to keep this going.
I think it was pivotal, actually.
Yeah, and we chatted to some of the names we chatted to, like in terms of AFC Bournemouth stars of yesteryear, but also recent stars as well. There's like Steve Fletcher,
Matty Holland, Tommy Elphick. It was crazy how many people. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, as a kid that went to my first Bournemouth game in '97, '98, to then go, I'm just having a little natter with Steve Fletcher now. I mean, he's the god, isn't he? Like it was crazy, absolutely crazy. And like I say, all this stuff, I don't. Yeah, you take the criticism and all that stuff on board. I'm just a Bournemouth fan that can't believe my luck in that sense. You know, people like John Bailey, he's the only Bournemouth player to ever score at Wembley. He follows me on Twitter. It's just like, to me, I have to sometimes it brings me back round and just think how lucky we are. But yeah, as you say, mate, some of the names, some of the older boys as well, that it was good for me because I didn't do them. Maybe got like Neil and Jeff on and stuff like that. Some of the ones that were before my time that I just thought, these are brilliant characters. Yeah,
as well. You know, Tommy Heffernan, Keith Williams, Tony Funnell, Milton Graham, Ian Thompson, Willow and Mozzie, of course, talking about their playing careers together. Some absolutely incredible stories, but also some from in the noughties as well, like your sort of Marvin Bartleys and stuff. And there were like Warren Cummings, Brian Stott, Jan Camigan. We could go on. Harry Redknapp during a live show, having his dinner in the middle of it, and then coming back to do some more.
And then we met him in person recently, didn't we? And he's just great. And people like that are so, you know, kind of well thought of within the football club, for them to just be in their spare time to go, I'll have a chat with you guys.
That was mad.
And that makes me think, you know, we're doing okay here because we've got no in with the football club, but they're happy to chat to us because they see what we're doing, and we're just fans that are trying to get a little bit more out to the general public, I guess. And
then, you know, the culmination of that season, I mean, it was horrible. It was relegation, you know, the loss of Eddie, and then a whole season where we effectively had to present shows from our bedrooms. We had isolation, we had the rule of 6, hands, face, space, bring a mate, double the gate, or was that Ken Gardner back in the 90s? I can't remember. But it was slogan central telling us to do and not do certain things. While the government, they were partying like it's 1999 with a booze-filled fest at Downing Street. But this brought watch-alongs, it brought live shows, and it brought streams which were Really, really effective. I have to say though, I don't miss doing those now.
They were very important at the time.
Yeah.
But now this is why you and I try and get together as much as we can, because they are a frustration. I don't think they're as aesthetically pleasing to watch any sort of show that's a bit streamed. Sometimes, needs must. And it was perfect for COVID. But yeah, I much prefer chatting in person. I think you can be more personable then and get things across. It's horrible, isn't it? You go to make a point and then someone else talks and then you both don't talk and then you both talk. It's a nightmare. But as I say, at the time it was ideal, and that was what the world was, wasn't it, really?
And through that, we met so many people who we've now met in person in real life, both locally but also around the world as well. Like you say, Chris Edwards, Terry from the States, the Aussies that have come over as well.
That little period where you'd introduce each other by your Twitter handle. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, I'm at so. Oh yeah, I know.
That's you.
Yeah, but no, really nice, like you say.
And we had a whole season like that. Like you chatted to Jason Tyndall.
I did.
Which was
people love the fact that I was getting on with JC at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was lovely.
But then football was back, and it was under Scott Parker, and we got to go to games again. And for me, that was a turning point in my life personally, I think, as well, because I just thought, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do all 46 games. I've come close before, but I've never done a whole season.
Oh, here we go. You didn't make Derby. Yeah, all right. I missed one game. All right.
But we sort of just thought, you know what, let's go all out, because people have missed the kind of rawness of football. Let's just document the whole season.
Yeah.
And that's what we were doing. So vlogs,
yeah,
free-for-alls outside the ground, second looks, and you know what, mate? I enjoyed every even the crappiest of losses. I'm not even sure what the worst loss was. What was the worst loss?
I tell you what it felt like was when that West Brom game was horrible.
Yeah,
it was only a 2-0 defeat.
Yeah, but it was. Well, in fact, I don't think we lost by more than 2 goals that season.
Probably didn't, actually.
But the long trips like Middlesbrough and stuff, it would help by going to Newcastle on a night out on the previous night. But even those, I loved it.
Yeah, it didn't matter, did it? It was great laugh. We got some really good memories from that. And as you say, I don't know at the time. I don't know if you agree, but I felt like we kind of, as you just said, we went into it and thought, right, let's just document it. Let's have a laugh. Football's back. We've missed it, and see what happens. I don't think we really thought we'll always do these vlogs and stuff now. I think we just went, let's have a laugh for a season. Let's see what happens. And then because of your support and because of the feedback we got, we've tried to continue it. And
it's like being there with you.
Yeah, and stuff like that's amazing. And what that's meant is, which I'm sure we'll come on to, is that I don't know if some people would have seen the little Diddy camera you carry around with you, which is about the size of my vape.
I was about to say, where is it? It's there.
Yeah,
sorry.
But things like that we've had to invest in, because if we want to keep doing that, then you don't want to be at games with a massive selfie stick looking like an idiot. So it's about making sure that you in particular, but all of us, are still just enjoying the football like we normally would.
Enjoy the game.
If it starts affecting our match day experience, we will look again, 100%. But that was what we wanted to do. People wanted to stick with the vlogs in particular, and wanted to keep them coming in another league and new stadiums, etc., etc. So it was important that it didn't affect our match day experience detrimentally, wasn't it?
That's right. And it's all about the fun for me, and just we're one group of friends that they're trying to show our experience. We're trying to get the right mix of the football and the fun side, and hopefully we do that. But we're willing to take on feedback, and we'll tell you how to do that. And look, Back of the Net has inspired other YouTube channels like for AFC Bournemouth. So we've now got a number to pick from in terms of getting your post-match reaction. There are interviews with players and other channels, live streams, all that kind of stuff where people around the world can get involved. So it's a good thing, innit, having all of this kind of variety on YouTube for a little small club like ours.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and again, that's all come from the chat, particularly COVID and things, and getting fans' opinions, and then people then finding the confidence to go, you know what, if there's, they've got their own thing going, but I might do a bit as well on the side and kind of try and complement it if I can. So yeah, that's I think it's the way the world is. Definitely, loads of clubs have got different bits and bobs going on, but it's really nice that, as you say, a small little club like Bournemouth can do that as well.
So as a result of all of this, it was suggested that we put ourselves forward for the Football Content Awards, which is something that I must say I don't feel overly comfortable with.
I don't think either of us were, no.
You sort of got to jump up and down and scream, vote for me, and you've got to get the ball rolling yourself, which is a little bit, I don't know, it's really hard. It's a whip, but it was suggested that we do it. So we did one tweet, one Facebook post, one Instagram story, and just see what happens. And lo and behold, mate, as soon as we did that, the next few days on social media, in fact for that week, it was mental. Our notifications were going off because you were basically saying, yeah, you know, I want to vote for these guys. People were tweeting, people were leaving feedback forms, people were tagging on Instagram, they were commenting on Twitter. Not just Bournemouth fans.
Gabriel Sutton got in there, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's so nice. You know, James Alcott gave you a shout out as well, and has given you a number of shout outs on his channel, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, no, it's mad. I think when we both did it, we thought, we keep getting, we got asked for a few people that we should put ourselves forward, and it was one of them. It was kind of like, we're just putting ourselves forward. We're not going to get nominated, so it's just like we're just doing it, and it seems a little bit silly, but yeah, we thought, why not? Who cares? And yeah, like I say, the support and feedback and the amount of people that were saying that we deserve some recognition was amazing. To be honest, did not expect it at all.
And what that's done is all your tweets have basically somehow they've enabled us to make the cut. So
for 2 categories.
For 2 categories. So in November, we're going up to an event in Manchester at the Mercure Hotel where there's going to be content creators that, like, you know, to me are like world famous. They're like ridiculous. They're like proper, stars of YouTube, and we're kind of in and amongst them lot in a category which, I mean, we're like 2 categories. Best podcast for the Premier League and also best content creator as well for the Premier League, which is absolutely crazy. So as part of the best podcast category, there's loads of great channels and some really, really good content creators there. And then in the best club content creator as well, I'm just looking at some of these names like City Extra, Empire of the Cop, the Gooner Talk. They do a great job. I've been on their channel before. Adam Pearson, Newcastle United, Bavs, who does a great job covering Arsenal as well. And also there are some other categories that contain the likes of the Red Men, the Anfield Wrap, AFTV, etc. So it's absolutely bonkers. And you can now get us over the line. You can help to get us over the line by going to footballcontentawards.com/voting. If you just want to say thanks for everything, Sam. Thanks for everything, Tom. Just go to this link because we'd truly appreciate it. Just head to the link and then you can go to the best podcast category. Select Back of the Net, the AFC Bournemouth podcast. You can also do so on the best club content creator category. You don't have to vote for every single category on there, but once you've selected Back of the Net, scroll down. You can put your name and email address in there if you want, but click on agree and then vote now. We've also, in the description, put some links to a few tweets that you might want to tweet out as well on your account to show your support, because the decision, not that we're going to win anything.
I'd be very, very surprised, but no. Now we're here, then why not? Let's give it a crack. That's what I say. You know what I mean? While you're there, let's go for it. So yeah, no, we'd really appreciate it. I mean, the support already to be able to go up there and being shortlisted is amazing in itself. Anyway, but yeah, we might as well kind of push it a little bit now while we can, and looking forward to going, mate. As you say, there's going to be some really good names there. It'd be nice to just connect with different people. To be honest, bit disappointed I didn't get in the young creator award. Apparently I just missed the age bracket. But yeah, there's going to be some really good people there, and I think I would have gone as Laura Woods as +1 anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll go there with you this time. That's absolutely fine.
So it's a 50-50 split in terms of fans votes and also a judges panel, so you can do your bit by voting for us. We would truly appreciate it. And as we look back at what has presented us with this kind of 6 years on Back of the Net, 3 on YouTube, is like media appearances as well. Media appearances, we've been nearly everywhere, which is a bit embarrassing. Of course, interviewing the manager, mate. I was involved with Eddie and Jason in a pre-match chat about how to improve the the match day experience environment. That was courtesy of Anthony Marshall. I presented Charlie Daniels with an award, mate. And like we said, chatted to some unbelievable sites. Have you got a highlight of the last few years? Is there one moment that stands out in particular? Or
I think obviously chatting to JT was cool because he was the current manager at the time. But as I briefly alluded to earlier, I think chatting to someone, I mean, they are my heroes. Growing up, Steve Fletcher was my hero, and I got to just have a little natter with him. Harry Redknapp's up there for me, and I got to meet up with him, have a little chat. So there's been a number of them. I really enjoyed doing Matt Ritchie. I thought was great because I think he was someone that was so pivotal in that promotion to the Premier League for the first time. And then because he obviously left, and I feel like I hadn't seen a lot of him like in the media, if you like.
I agree.
So to be able to, and I think to be able to just like have a chat with him and realise that he bloody loves talking about football. He loves the club, and it was, even though he's moved up north, and he was really honest. I thought, and I really enjoyed that one. So that was probably one of the ones that sticks out to me. But also just having a laugh on all the vlogs and that, mate, was great. And yeah, just some great laughs. I'm trying to think of my favourite. But it's nice to be able, it's because it's documented. It's nice to remember some of them away days and stuff. Class, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, some amazing moments, and just some moments that I'll never forget, to be honest, mate. And hopefully there'll be more to come.
So we want to say thank you to everyone that's liked a video, that's commented on a video, also to the people that have shared stuff on Twitter or Facebook and Insta. You know who you are. We know who you are as well. So thank you so much. But also, thanks to the people that have donated financially too, either through a one-off donation or through being a monthly member. You'll see at the end of the show, there's the kind of Legends wall. Those are the people that donate monthly. It's a minimum £3 donation. And got to say, these guys are amazing people, and they've put their money where their mouth is in terms of their support. We wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be doing the show.
Because, you know what, for all the praise that we get, which is really nice, it's a project that's got me personally into financial sticky situations. And when you're trying to juggle life, work and debt, these donations have helped pay for like streaming software, hardware, microphones, cameras, audio leads, subscriptions, and so much more. And look, if you want to help us grow, then it's as little as a cup of coffee a month. That's just like minimum £3, and it helps to subsidise it and keep it going. Back of the Net is not for profit. It's solely for the purpose of the continuity of us bringing you AFCB content. So we got one guy in Australia that donates £20 a month.
Unbelievable. But
and that helps, to pay for our fees. That's mad.
And we get a lot of, as you said, a lot of good feedback and support and praise for kind of some of the quality of the content but that's only doable because of these donations and things like this, because everyone knows technology and equipment is not cheap. And it's one of them. When we started, it was kind of like, we can do this kind of for nothing. But then, if we want the content to get better, we're going to have to subsidise. And you in particular, you've had to go into your own pocket. And this gives back and helps us to keep that quality content, because the fear is we can't afford certain cameras, certain technology, and we have to dip in content, and we don't want to do that. So it is really important, and the amount we've got at the moment is fantastic just to keep it running. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Like you say, a cup of coffee a month, basically. And that camera, so I had one previously. It got water damage. Yeah. So I don't know what vlog or what free-for-all that was that we were filming. £450 I know.
For a DJI Pocket 2. If you can find it cheaper anyone else, let me know. £450.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. So anyway, we've now got another one.
And all these things like these when we said about doing these kind of like stream shows and things like that, and we try and all of us try and be able to be accessible to do shows and stuff like that. These softwares that we use to keep the content of a certain quality, you don't just get them, you have to subscribe to them, you have to pay monthly to them. So yeah, it is really important. So honestly, anyone that wants to and anyone that already does, it's massive. I can't thank them enough.
Just say thank you to all you that support. That's really, and what you get as part of being a member is you get to go on our private chat group, which is like WhatsApp. It's on Telegram, where we post a number of first looks. We post our bloopers on there. A lot more besides. We have a monthly giveaway. We've done that for quite a while now. So we'll just give away a random AFC Bournemouth related prize to one of our subscribers every month as well. And lots more. We'll usually tell you the pubs we're going to on away days, all that kind of stuff. And you get a chance to have your input on shows as well, first and foremost. So that's honestly truly appreciated as well. So those are the things that we've loved. There are some bits that we haven't loved, and that's the criticism that we get, but we're not expecting it to be 100% love.
I don't mind criticism, constructive criticism and points that people think could be better and stuff like that. But as we just mentioned, there's certain things you go, bloody hell, this is coming out of our pocket here, this is our work.
And like the fact that you turned up to the Scott Parker thing, like you said, in a shirt. What are you doing there? And our sort of overexposure to the media. But also we've had some people comment about the ads and brand deals that are starting to filter onto Back of the Net as well, which you know, I kind of get comments such as bring back the old back of the net that didn't have adverts and stuff. And look, first and foremost, like, we are selective with the brands we pick, right? We do get emails every week from different companies wanting to sponsor the show or to do some kind of collaboration with us, and we don't just say yes to any of them because you know, some of them are just not the right fit. Some of them are like morally not right as well, and we've turned down many a proposition. But you know, we're not prepared to get into debt doing this.
It's him with the morals, by the way. I'm normally like, I'll just take it. We need the cash. But no, we are, like you say, very, very picky in that sense. But it goes back to what we keep saying. If you want the regular content and the quality of content, we have to. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to FaceTiming each other and talking about a game because there's no way we can afford to do it without the support of obviously you guys, but also, you know, the odd decent brand that comes around that we think, oh, actually, I would use that anyway, or that's a brand I can get behind. Then we're going to take it. We've got no choice. Yeah, exactly. So that support, you know, together with the legends, it really does help considerably. So if you see any offers or deals, you know, do consider, you know, giving them a click and downloading the Green King app. But yeah, honestly, that's another thing. Also, some of the things that we've touched on it so far, is the fact that, oh, you're close to the club, you're brown nose in the club, and I mean that's balderdash, mate, isn't it? That's absolutely. I mean, if that was the case, I'd have certain people on speed dial at the club, and mate, I bloody wish I was part of that club. I mean, I've paid to go to Norwich twice in 2 seasons. I wish I had a freebie for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's certain. We've had a few kind of family members of different players that say they watch the channel and stuff. I'm not saying that some of them maybe don't watch now and again and are aware of us and things like that, and they probably, you know, majority maybe like what we do. There's probably certain shows they think, oh, didn't want them to say that. And there's no way that we've just been overboard praise for the football club. No way. But we just got promoted, which helps. But yeah, listen, we're definitely not in their pockets. I wish we were, actually.
I think, and you know, when the club have maybe, if we have done a video where they thought, oh, why they? It's probably because they haven't communicated well enough. In which case, we're trying to get that message across as well. So, look, and we don't want to be too close. I don't want to be too close. I want to, like I've said this to you before, I like seeing players come out and this kind of hero worship. I love seeing Jay-Z or Jaden Anthony coming out, and it's like, oh my God, they're my heroes. I don't want to be, you know, best buds with anyone from the club, because otherwise it takes the, you know, that kind of hero worship away from football. And that's the thing that I really love. I mean, you do stay relatively calm around Jefferson Lerma, though, right?
Oh, of course, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, we go way back. No, I didn't think of that point. It's a really good point. I was thinking as well, I don't want it to taint the kind of the balance of the show, because you know, you want to be able to criticise as well, you know, and we wouldn't be able to do what we did. If we were close to the club, they'd have shut down a lot of shows, because we're getting fans on to just say their opinion. We're not telling them to say certain things.
We did a piece on the sponsorship, you know, the DAFA Bet betting sponsorship, and we were sort of weighing it up, and you know, maybe they were okay with that, maybe they weren't, but it's important that the questions are raised. So, you know, with the absence at the moment of some kind of notable Cherries trust at the moment, I think it's important for someone to do it, so you know, we'll step up for the meantime. So yeah, one other thing I want to say as well, obviously when I do go to games, I've got the little camera, and I try to respect people's privacy as much, and there are people that don't like that, and I completely get it, but the comments that we get from people around the world drives us to do it more. But if you do see me and you're sat behind me and you sort of, you don't want to be on camera, just have a quiet word in my ear, because I will respect your privacy.
Yeah, of course.
Because we don't really want to be putting the camera in your face if you don't want it.
Can you stop showing me on my top off when we get a last minute winner, please?
God. Also, another thing, a lot of people in the comments, we want more Tiggs.
Yeah, I've had enough of it.
We want more Neil. We want more Jeff. So look, we've all got jobs. Thankfully,
not all the comments think we do.
Thankfully, me and Tom have got the flexibility of being able to film during the daytime, but some people cannot make shows that we film during the day, okay? So that's the reason for that, but we will involve them as much as possible. Tom,
we miss Tiggs.
When we
I've had enough of it, Sam. Who's going to miss me?
When we bring home the bacon, when we get that silverware, are we going to have an open top bus parade?
It's not a bad shout. Yeah, I might get the squad of the Betway Cup winners. That was our last trophy. I think. Yeah, I think we'll probably link up there.
See you in the square. Yeah,
do something like. Yeah, I reckon. How many people do you reckon we can get on the beach? Can we get 8,000?
Should we just get on a barrel scooter?
8,500 of them on the beach. That's what I want. Yeah, what can we do really naff? But yeah, let us know if you want an open dot bus parade. But also as well, before we kind of finish up, I do want to say that we spoke about different things, but it doesn't have to be criticism, but little bits like we said then about kind of you get kind of a little bit of insight if you're kind of donating, because we want to say if you support us in that way, you deserve something a little bit extra, like you said about the Telegram group. If there's anything else you think, oh, you could do this for people, or you could do that, or what about something like this, let us know, because we're honestly, the feedback and stuff, that's been great, because that's really good to push at us. Me and you chat and go, a lot of people have said about this, should we give this a go? So Premier League show and things like that, people sometimes we get, now we're in the Premier League, we get people saying, don't keep it just Bournemouth, because we quite like you just chatting about football. So we've tried to do that. So yeah, keep letting us know, because we really appreciate it. And as I say, keep coming and chatting to us when you see us, and privacy and all that stuff. Just come and have a word with us. We're all right, honestly. We're all right.
And if you want to leave your anonymous feedback, go to afcbpodcast.com/feedback. You don't have to leave your name.
Yeah.
afcbpodcast.com/feedback. Just
Where's Neil?
Put whatever you think, and then we'll read it and we'll try to take it on board. But look, above all, we just want to say thank you so much for your support and your ongoing support. The future of Back of the Net is actually bright, so you didn't need to have all those sleepless nights during the week.
You're probably YouTuber now, aren't you? A little bit of clickbait
central.
Unbelievable. We'll
it's
be fine.
all good.
Yeah.
And look, we cannot wait to see you at Dean Court for the Leicester game. That's coming on Saturday. We'll have a preview out before that. The content never stops. Up the chairs.
Cheers.